Alright, hello guys. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the rest of February as far as our temperature patterns are concerned. Now, before I get started with this video though, I would ask that you do subscribe if you do like weather-related content, and also make sure to share this video with your friends, family, and social medias. Let's get right into things. Now, first things first, we're going to be looking at our 1 month temperature probability outlook, and this map is not by me, this is actually by the Climate Prediction Center. And we see that during their February outlook, they were calling for colder than normal conditions for the north central and northeastern United States. And if you live in these regions, you know so far, with the exception of the past couple of days, this really hasn't been too accurate outside of maybe the upper Midwest. The upper Midwest, we've had such cold temperatures recently, and we're looking to maybe see some more cold temperatures that I think that this might actually end up being true, specifically for the north central United States. The southeast, we had a little bit of warmer than normal conditions expected, and then the southwest, a lot of warmer than normal conditions expected. I just wanted to show this because I thought this was interesting. I like going through this and seeing how it's shaped up so far. Let's go ahead and look at that 6 to 10 day temperature probability outlook, and this one came out yesterday, so this is very new and fresh. So this is going to be from, let's take a look here. This is going to be from the 19th through the 23rd, and we see for the south central and some of the southwestern United States, they're expecting colder than normal conditions, especially there for Texas and then up through some of the Rockies. And then we see also the northeastern United States, we're expecting colder than normal conditions. The only areas they were expecting warmer than normal conditions is some of the upper Midwest, which today doesn't feel that way, and then for Florida. And then here's the 8 to 14 day outlook, which is going to be from the 21st through the 27th. And you see, again, the south central, southeastern, and up through the Rockies, they're expecting colder than normal conditions. But the northeast and north central United States, warmer than normal conditions, as well as in California out there. Now, we're about to go day by day looking at our GFS ensemble model and just take a look at those temperature anomaly outlooks day by day. We're going to break it down, and it's going to be very exciting to take a look at that with you guys. Alright, so first things first, we're going to look at yesterday. This was yesterday morning, actually, at about 2 a.m., and you saw those very, very pink colors. In the past couple of videos, I've showed this, so you've probably seen that, but you might not have if this is your first video in the past couple of days you've watched. We see those pink colors and almost white colors. That's where we're expecting 16 to 30 degrees below average Celsius, which is very, very far below normal temperatures there, specifically for Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, and a little bit of Nebraska as well. All of these regions are expecting very, very far below normal temperatures for the coming days, and this was just yesterday morning. Let's head towards this morning at 2 a.m., and you can see this actually moved a little bit southeast, and obviously that's usually the motion of these troughs anyway, so it's not too abnormal there. But we still see those very, very bright pink colors for Kansas, Missouri, up through Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and then Minnesota and the Dakotas still. And then as we head towards tomorrow at 2 a.m., which is going to be Saturday, February 15th, we can see that we do have those colder than normal conditions expected for New England, the Great Lakes, and even the southeastern United States, the deep south there, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, all of these regions expecting to see 4 to 12 degrees below normal. And then for the New England states like upstate New York, well, I know that's not New England, but New York and then the New England states, so Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, we see 16 to 30 degrees below average Celsius. But again, that's very, very far below normal temperatures expected for that time. So Saturday morning around 2 a.m. Now we're about to move on towards where that cold is going to start to dissipate a little bit. It's still going to be located over the eastern United States, but we're going to start to see a second one come in, so we're going to start talking about that as we head towards Sunday, Monday time frame. This is going to be by about Saturday, 8 p.m. on February 15th still, and you can see that the eastern seaboard still has those blue colors. That's where it's kind of dissipated a bit. We see probably about 2.5 to 8 degrees below average Celsius from Maine all the way down through the deep south there along the eastern seaboards. It's going to be a bit chilly for the next couple of days for us here in the eastern United States. But we see up there for Canada and heading into the upper Midwest, we see a second trough coming in. Our first one we saw around this time frame just a couple days out, and it was very, very accurate. So we're expecting that this one is going to occur as well. The trends this year would tell us that this will be accurate since it's so close. We see Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, Iowa getting that cold so far. And again, this is by 8 p.m. on Saturday, which is going to be tomorrow from the time I'm making this video. Let's head towards Sunday at about 8 p.m. and you can see this one doesn't really dig down. It gets this kind of combative warm air below it that's trying to hold it up north, and it really actually is successful. We see the south central United States is warming up. We see 2.5 to 8 degrees above average for Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska. So over the next 7 days, you guys are just going to be all over the place in the south central United States. Cold, warm, definitely a flip-floppy pattern down there. Would not be surprised to see some severe weather threats for the deep south once again, just because of this, up and down temperature swings, cold fronts coming through into the warm air. Would not be surprised if we start to see more of those heading forward. We can see that the northeastern United States and the southeast a little less, but those areas are warm as well. And then we see for the upper Midwest and then the Great Lakes regions, that trough has kind of digged south a little bit, but mostly just eastward. Let's move on towards about Monday, 8 p.m., and you can see it just completely dies out. It's located over upstate New York and New England a little bit there. It's heading out east, but really just does not dig down at all. And you can see almost the warm air was a lot more successful. The southeast ridge builds in, which is where we have a lot of warm air over the eastern United States that originates from kind of the Gulf of Mexico and pushes northward. And this creates very, very moist warm air. And that's what it looks like for this time frame. Again, this is by 8 p.m. on Monday. So we're going to have a definite, very definitive switch up of temperatures. We're going to go in this big cool down and then a very, very big warm up to start the week next week. And those kind of, I would say, deep reddish and then almost pinkish colors there for Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and then up through the Mississippi River area. We see that's where we're going to be expecting maybe 4 to 20 degrees above average Celsius. So, I mean, far, far above average temperatures for these regions. Let's move towards about 2 a.m. on Wednesday, and here we go. Again, I told you guys it would be a flip-floppy pattern, and we could see those pinks re-enter into the Midwest, the Rockies. Very, very deep cold once again. We're getting more potent cold air coming in. It's just very, very short-lived. We don't have that blocking out over Greenland, and I know a lot of you probably don't even know what that means, but basically we don't have anything stopping this cold air from just moving from west to east very, very quickly, but a lot of times we do in previous years, and historically that could happen or could not. And this is one of the years where it will not happen. We just have this really moving pattern that keeps switching up. And that's why a lot of you have been experiencing a pattern that's all over the place. So I hope that's kind of like an educational thing there that you guys can take away from. I hope that made sense. We see this cold air potentially moving in by 2 a.m. on Wednesday, and very warm air there for the southeast still. This might be an event where we would see severe weather just because of how close that cold air is to that warm air there over Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, and historically this is kind of the pattern and the area that we would see set up severe weather events during the winter time, so it would make sense. This is a little bit of a lower confidence type trough here just because we're 120 hours out, so it's a little bit further into the future. We don't know for sure if it'll pan out this way, but so the confidence is a bit lower than the ones coming up very shortly, but I do have quite a bit of confidence that we will see something that at least resembles this. Now we're about to move on towards Thursday, where we're going to see that trough completely move into the central United States and the eastern United States, completely take over, just like the one is going to do this weekend, and it's going to be very exciting to take a look at that with you guys. So as you can see here, we are looking at some pretty deep cold there for the central and eastern United States, especially there for some of the purplish, pinkish areas. Again, that's where we're expecting maybe 8 to 20 degrees below average Celsius. But again, this is a very low confidence situation comparatively to the ones that are happening more recently. It's as we get past 100 hours, that's where we kind of take it with a grain of salt, and that's what I highly recommend you guys do as well. I just wanted to show this because I did want to talk about the medium and long range and just kind of document it. I like to look back and stuff like that, and a lot of you are curious, and this is what it's showing as of right now. We see Florida maybe holding on to that warmth, maybe a bit of California, but outside of that in the United States, it looks very cold for kind of the 20th time frame there on Thursday. It's as we move towards Saturday that warm starts to build north of our whole pattern here, and we can see that cold kind of building in there for the southeast and the south central United States, and this really resembles what we saw there on that climate prediction forecast at the beginning of that video, or of this video, and that's why I wanted to show that, because it really, really resembles what I'm showing you right now. So I think this is definitely what they're seeing as well, is this pattern that might be upcoming where the southeastern and south central United States has the furthest below normal temperatures, as well as up through the Rockies. But then kind of the north central and the northeastern United States has a lot more of more slightly below average temperature pattern heading forward. Now towards the 23rd, it looks like we hold on to that pattern a bit, and even the north central United States and the northeastern United States kind of have a little bit of a more average temperature to maybe even above average temperature pattern towards the 23rd, which is going to be Sunday, February 23rd. And again, the Rockies still a little bit below normal. So very, very interesting moving forward. And then we can see by the 24th, Monday morning on February 24th, this is where it gets a little bit more uncertain. This is an ensemble model, so it's multiple models put together, and then the mean average of them is what our result is here, what we're seeing. So what ends up happening is after a while, they all disagree so much that it looks like somebody splattered on paint. That's how I've always described it. Somebody splattered on finger paint onto a canvas here, and that's what it ends up looking like. And you can see this does not look very organized at all. It looks all over the place. And this is typically once the ensemble model has not a clue what's going to happen. So this is where we're going to stop February 24th, which is exactly 10 days from now. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, be sure to share it with your friends, family, and social media, and I'll see you guys in the next video.